welcome to my channel. Today I am scrapping day 22 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. Now this is the sketch that we are following. Love the sketch. It is created by Ronnie Sue Scrapper, and wood grain is the challenge prompt created by Adam over at Dottie About Flair, which is pretty easy because the background on the sketch is wood grain, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Now, I pulled these two photos of me and my mom during fall holiday pictures, and I thought that I would use the sunflowers from Recollections, which I purchased at Michael's. Now, I'm gonna follow this sketch to a T because I loved it so much. I think Ronnie did a beautiful job doing this sketch. Now, for the center circle that is on it, I thought that I would use this vellum that has gold writing on it. I'm gonna cut that out in a circle, and once I put it against the wood grain, I felt like it wasn't popping enough. So I just cut out another circle out of white plain cardstock and then just put it underneath, and that really helps highlight it for me. Now what I thought I was going to do was bring in gold cardstock to create the film strip, but I didn't like how any of the gold, no matter what shade I brought in, was looking with the layout until I came across this dark gold brown glitter cardstock that I have. The only issue I was having was I only had a small square left, so I had to piece it together. I found a film strip design on the Cricut Design Space and just had it piece it out in literal pieces. So I just I figure out which one goes where, and then I'm gonna glue it down onto the photo itself just to keep it in place. Now I don't like piecing regular cardstock together because you have that defined line. So most of the time I find myself covering it with an embellishment. But with glitter cardstock, I find, at least the dark glitter cardstock, the lines are not as defined, so it doesn't really bother me, and it's not something that I really have to worry about covering. So this is how this one worked for me. I want to also mention that it doesn't have it on the sketch per se, but in a film strip, you have one picture right after the other. So since it kind of offsets on the top and bottom, when I crop the picture down to fit into the rectangle of the film strip, I use the bottom and the top that I cut off to make it look like I literally cut the strip and there were photos that came before and after it. Not a big detail, but I thought it was cute, so I wanted to mention that I did that. I did pull in the Recollection sunflowers, and I'm just like in the sketch, I'm going to display them, the two large ones on the ends and then the smaller ones on the bottom right hand corner. Once I get all this glued down, I'm gonna start on the leaves of the sunflowers. Now I found a you guys, I love my Cricut, okay? So I found a design on Cricut that had a vine leaf pattern, and then the leaves that I cut out on my last layout, on the soccer layout, I'm gonna use that same one, only I'm not gonna have it cut the center out. That way I can utilize it for the larger sunflowers. But to design them, I went through a lot of the greens that I had, and I wasn't liking anything. So I had this idea of pulling in multiple greens from my stamps, getting the vines cut down on white cardstock, and then doing a gradient. I didn't have like drastic different color greens, but what I did was I did 3 colors in green, and I used the white daisy from Close to My Heart. Now, the 3 green colors that I used was Close to My Heart, I used Sage and Evergreen, and then from Distress Oxide, I used Rustic Wilderness. Now, I started with the tips Sage, and then rustic wilderness in the centers, and then the evergreen because it was the darkest on the bottom stem. And then I went with the white daisy. I used my finger and kind of just dabbed it in places where I felt would highlight the leaves, and that gives it a little bit of detail in the leaf pattern. I thought about getting the white gel pen and creating the vine down the middle and then the veins on the side, but I really like how this turned out and I didn't want to mess it up, so I left it as is because I was still really happy with it. So once I do all of these leaves, I place them on the layout, and I actually tear them in half, just the ones on the bottom where the 3 sunflowers are, because I wanted to extend them. I didn't make them long enough, and since I have those 2 sunflowers on the side, it hides the tear that I did and separation, so that really worked out for me there. But once I get all these down, I thought about my title. Like, I sat on the title for a little bit. The sketch says long title, so I was gonna do mom and daughter shenanigans, which would have been cute, but I wish I would have had more photos to display if I would do that, because these 2 photos was just, me and my mom. So what I did was I made my own little pocket card, I guess. I found a nice little saying online, and I had I typed it out. I changed the font where I wanted some of the words to really pop, like places and best. They're in cursive. Once I did that, I found a pumpkin with vines, because there are some pumpkins in my photos, to go on the bottom just to bring that in. And I had the Cricut write it, and then all I did was put it on, I put it on gold cardstock, and the background is the same glitter cardstock that I used for the film strip. I just pieced it together again on that, and then popped it up with some fun foam, and that completed the layout. It is super cute. I really love how this one turned out, and I am so happy to be scrapping again. You guys have no idea. Well, maybe you do, because I know a lot of you love your scrapping too. But anyways, in the description box, as always, everyone who played along in this series 9, stop by, give them some love, leave them a comment, leave them a like. There are amazing layouts out there and a lot to inspire and just motivate you. So I will leave you guys to have a wonderful weekend, and I will catch you guys on another day. Bye.